GoPro, start recording. GoPro, start recording. It's already going. I'm here by myself today because Woody's not here, which is pretty standard. So we're going to have to do a bit of work and look over some stuff. So let's do it. Welcome back to the Skid Factory. Woody's away at the Facebook Marketplace World Championships. I think he'll probably do alright. Pretty good at it. In the meantime, I've been working on making a throttle bracket or a throttle system for the P-pump. You can see here, that's the throttle lever. That ball end there. It had nothing on it when we bought it back from Canada. It used to have an elaborate bracketry system that bolts on around here with pivots and levers and rods and multiple sort of arrangements for TPSs and throttle valve cables and cruise control, and it's really complicated, and it was also rusted away, so we just ditched it and threw it over there, and I just said I'd make something, which is what I'm doing. We also didn't have a return spring, so this thing has no return function built into it. So I've got a dual spring system, which I'll take a shot of that you can see later. I made a bracket for that. That is sort of what I gathered was the original setup down there. And then I moved on to a throttle sort of cable bracket. I bought this from local parts shop. It was originally a threaded end, and it matched up to that ball that's on there. I bought the inner and outer cable set up from there as well, and Shano silver soldered that in there for me. Silver solder is a good thing, very helpful. So then I started making brackets. I think I'm on to about the 4th generation at the moment. That was my first try. Then I added some bits, then it didn't work, and then I cut it off and tried to use it to make a template. That's why it's flat like that. It used to be right angled here. Then I rage quitted that, started again in a different manner, and eventually ended up with that, which actually works. So it bolts on underneath the on-off solenoid. So this big dog goes over the top of it in there. That's what switches the pump on and off via a massive lever. And then I'll just route the cable over there somewhere. So that's where we're at with that. This is the that last percentage that takes heaps and heaps of time. I think I spent half a day getting to here. And then had to go away and have a good hard look at myself because it was pissing me off. Anyway, I think I've got there now, so I'll start putting it all back together and then start working on the path over to the firewall. This has a pedal with a cable on it, but the cable is about that long and just goes to a group of TPSs, because this was a EP14 engine, so it has a TPS, but it doesn't actually have a cable running to the pump or anything. So I'm going to modify that lever, leave the TPSs there, because I'm going to use one of them to operate the HGM, which requires it, the CompuShift, and then extend the bracket. There's firewall holes there for it because they did have cable setups in them prior to this. So we'll work from that. This is the factory pedal assembly for the throttle. You can see it's got a little cable there. It just pulls this, what's basically a housing for a TPS unit. Yes, Nissan likes to do strange things, obviously. So what we're going to do is this thing here that bolts onto the firewall, that whole little hole there in the middle of that diamond shape, that's where the original, where a throttle cable used to go on the older stuff that had mechanical diesels in it. So that's where we're going to go through with our cable. So that actually bolts on there and it acts as a bracket for this new assembly. So we've got to put an extra ear off here for an extra bit of cable. That there will have to go, that block, because it's kind of runs through just above that. So around this end I stuck a centre punch through there, gave it a tap, you can see there hopefully. That's where it goes through, so I'm going to pull that bolt, cut that part of the bracket off. It's overdone anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem, but I could probably just tap into that anyway, but it's a pretty sturdy looking thing, so I don't think I'll worry about it too much. And then add a little tab here, so we'll have dual cables coming off it. This will be the TPS as it was. It's got two TPSs because that's how Nissan rolls. One's for the engine, the other one's for the auto that this didn't have. So I'll just pick one and use it. Cable will go through, run it out to the new bracketry, and hopefully it will work and feel proper. Who knows? Alright, you can see the double setup there. So normally when if I were to do a diesel conversion on one of these, it's got this and it's just mechanical, I would just remove this completely and pretty much do exactly what I've done there anyway, but you can run both at once. If you're doing an auto TD42 and retaining the original auto control, you do need to do this as well. So in hindsight, I guess I've done this before because I have done an auto TD42 with factory control. Another thing I've done is just check. You can see that Sharpie mark there, or Nico mark, however you want to say it. I've just done this travel test. Put another Sharpie mark on it, measured it, it's 50mm travel. So that would be basically what this, like a normal version of this, like a TD42 would have. Then I've went over to the P pump and done the same thing there. Just check the travel. There's a couple of black marks on here somewhere. Just there. And I'm winning because I've got the exact same amount. So that's going to be the right pedal travel for the pump. It should just go idle, full throttle, everything will work. So that's pretty sweet. Now I just have to throw it all back together in the car and do the outer part of the cable, route it. So you can route it wherever you like, it doesn't really matter as long as it's not kinked and not getting cooked by something. So I'll probably go a long way around just to get away from the heat sources in the engine bay. Got heat here, but then it also goes over there, so the back of the firewall is probably not the greatest idea. So I might come around here and just go across the front of the engine and down. Just bracket it as required and put some heat sleeve over it as usual. And then we might have a throttle that works. One more job ticked off the list. What are you doing?
What up?
You back already?
Doing my jobs that you asked me to do. Completing the task, Alan.
What'd you do?
Routed all the wiring for your Harrop lockers. Front and back, nice and neat, inside the car. As requested.
Did you trim it?
Sure did, bro. Look, ready to go.
Bro.
Perfect length. stuck down underneath there?
Trim it.
Nah, that's the bad bit. It's already been trimmed.
On you.
You can probably reuse that. That's good cable too. I'll give that to you. Look, they did a pro job. Grommeted and everything out of the way.
The grommet's fallen out.
No, it hasn't.
Looks like it is.
Nah, don't worry about that.
Nah.
So it's the fusey pull-up resistor thing is there in the step there. And I'm just vacuuming to clean up your schmuts because there's like Macca's chips everywhere.
I don't actually know what those things are, but I think they're like relays that reverse polarity to pull the clutch back. I think that's what it is.
Oh, back and forward, engage, disengage.
It looks fancy. For once I didn't chop up the wiring loom and change it because I didn't know what it did.
True that.
Did you chop up the wiring loom?
I just, that part.
Did you join it back together properly?
Yeah, crimped, heat shrink. I forgot a bit of heat shrink on one, so I had to do it again, so I cut it a bit shorter again.
Nice.
That old chestnut.
Nice little guitar string under there somewhere.
Nah, it's perfect. Runs up with a brake line. It's schmicko.
I think you got your work cut out for you cleaning up all this
Now I'm just going to put this all back in.
horse schmutz and bits of jodhpur and...
Can you do a skid in this thing yet or not?
What do you call those things that horses have around in their mouth holes?
I don't know.
Bit. Reins.
Yeah.
Did you find any?
No, there's hay and bits everywhere though.
It is the
There was hay all in the back. Look, there's still some in.
world champions.
There was
Hay?
hay everywhere.
Hay, what?
Hay.
Yeah,
Horse
don't
hay.
joke. Now what?
You're gonna talk about everything that you've done over the last week.
It's been a long week and I'm very, very sick of lying in the footwell of the car with the car on the hoist.
Yeah. We'll put some wheels on.
But I don't need to learn yoga now.
Put some wheels on and then you do a skid. Try to.
No, yeah, we should. Needs tuning. It's my excuse.
Oh.
As I said before to Woody, it's been a massive week. I've been just pretty much wiring for days on end. There's crap everywhere, wires and just junk, cut-offs, me lying upside down under the dash, working on my flexibility. So it's been a lot of work. This is the time when you get to that point where you're like, geez, I just want to drive this thing, but you can't because you've got to do all this other junk. So that's why we always talk about the last 10% being the hardest. Just because it's a mechanical diesel doesn't mean it doesn't need wires. It does. It just doesn't need any wires to make the pump work. So all this other stuff we've done is required. We'll have a look at that in a second, but first I wanted to do a quick shout out to Mr. Moore and the students at Hutchinson High School in Fairbanks, Alaska. They have been using our videos as part of their learning course for automotive sort of, I guess it's kind of like apprenticeship sort of starter course for mechanics. They do it during high school in the States, or Alaska at least. So they've been using some of our videos as a learning aid, and then I did a bit of a Zoom chat with all the students a couple of Saturdays ago, and then they sent us these Hutch Hawks, go Hawks, or something. So
Fly as one.
we fly as one, yeah. So cheers guys, keep at it, make good mechanics out of you, and thanks to Mr. Moore. All right, wiring, let's have a look. So a lot of the work that's been done is running wires from inside the car across the firewall through here, picking up power supplies and bringing them into this fuse box. This is a big starter relay. This is just an eBay fuse box. They're cheap as, has 5 normal relays and 1 big heavy duty relay that you use for a starter. So starter, that obviously operates the starter via the inhibitor switch. It also powers up the pull on this big solenoid at the same time, and then you've got the hold as well. So I've got a fuse for the hold and a fuse for the pump relay for the back of the car. There's a couple of relays for the lights on the bull bar that aren't there yet and that sort of thing. And I've got a few spares left over as well for when you inevitably add some stuff. I have run 4 extra trigger wires that are just taped up. They're in the loom already. There's a Deutsch connector on the other side. So when you actually do want to add something, you don't end up with 67,000 strings of wire just draped all over your car, and that would make me sad. So trying to think ahead a bit. Doesn't always work, but we can only try. I've got a temp sensor at the back of the engine there for the Haltech dash. So it's just a Deutsch Haltech sensor. I've got a pressure sensor on the other side there underneath the turbo for the oil pressure. And I've also got a tacho, which we had a bit of a look at, that I've added because we didn't get one with the engine. So I made my own out of using the original pickup points. There's just 2 slots in the front pulley, and it's got a cherry sensor on it now. I did use it was like a Delphi sensor from a Hyundai Elantra, only because I was too impatient to wait for Golby's to send me the cherry sensor, even though it only took a day. So I tried the Elantra sensor, but it didn't really like the indented pickups. It's built for a raised pickup, like a 36 tooth or something like that. So that's all set up. That goes through into the car. Everything's in underneath the footwell. We've gone through where the clutch master cylinder used to be with a genuine Nissan original boot. So all the wires go through a boot. It was actually the one that had the ZD loom going through the firewall. It's a 60mm size, so that's all sweet. Additionally, we've also got the boost control solenoid, which I probably won't need because I think it's got a 40 psi wastegate actuator on it. And the EGT sensor that runs through the firewall and up to the GFB D-Boost controller. We also use one of them on the other patrol. It's a good thing because it does boost control, shows boost pressure, but also shows your EGTs and has alarm warnings on it. So it's sort of up here behind a vent right in your face. So if you're towing your giant yacht up some big hill and your Cummins starts to get a bit hot, it'll flash at you. Probably more useful if you've got a TD42 and you're just, driving up your driveway or something, which is the same thing would probably happen. So all that wiring goes through there as well. That's pretty much the only entry and exit point for wires. So it's all, I tried to keep it as neat as I can, and I did have to go through it and do it over and over again and untape things, and it's just a sickness. The other main wiring part here is this is a Davies Craig fan controller. It's 2 relays. I think we talked about it before, but that basically has a temperature sensor in the block. It's got air conditioning input and just your main power wires going out to both fans and also to the aircon to turn the fans on when the aircon turns on. What else have I done, Woody?
Lots of things.
You weren't here, so you wouldn't know.
You had a couple of naps, a few lemon squashes.
I did. I could have killed for a nap today.
Did you ride the dirt bikes?
Yeah, I did. Last Friday. Where were you?
I was at the championship.
Oh, yeah. Did you win?
Nah, a couple of heavy hitters there.
Was it the Eastern Yak Herding Championships or
the Brass Donkey Convention 2021 March edition?
Goat milking?
Mm.
Sweet. You're pretty good at that.
Yeah.
I've also removed the snorkel, as you can see, and I've left this beautiful dirt coating behind.
Wasn't someone going to buy that?
They were, but I can't remember who it was, so if it was you, call me. That was actually a real bastard to get out, and I didn't really appreciate it, whoever put that bolt there and that bolt there. Not happy. It's a plastic snorkel, you didn't really need that many bolts. The reason I pulled that out mainly is because where it used to come through is where the fuse box is mounted, so I need to get it all out of the way. We are going to put another snorkel on the other side, but we've got to fix the guard and that first, and that's going to happen whenever it's Mark is available.
He broke it.
Get well soon, Mark. Get well soon. Now. One of the other big jobs, wiring-wise, was the transmission controller. not a huge job, but I'm sort of a bit pedantic about things. It's pre-wired basically, so, and you just have a bunch of wires you got to hook up. But I also am using the like tap shift or Tiptronic or whatever you want to call it control. So there's another 3 switches on the shifter here. So they've been wired up as well. I'm trying to bring everything in through the trans controller because it's the only computer the car's got, and then I'm going to try and export CAN data out of that into the Haltech dash. We haven't got that far yet, and I can't guarantee it'll work, but the tech support at HGM and Haltech are both very good, and they're sort of very helpful. So I think it's going to be doable, but I haven't got that far yet. The controller's mounted underneath there. I made a bracket and stuff for it to hang it sort of pretty much where the original engine computer was, and picked up power from the engine computer sort of wiring that's all there, and also the TPS from that pedal sensor that we showed you when we were doing the cable. That all came through into the same sort of plug area, just hanging down around this area. It's all wired in there, so it works. Well, it worked after I put another 5 litres of oil in it after Woody said it was full.
Don't say that. Pete will be cursing at us.
I already told him.
Oh.
It works good. It's heaps of control with it. Interestingly, it actually uses, well, it's optional, but you can use Bluetooth on your phone to program it, which is super handy for the normal. A normal guy would probably just, have a 5.3 with a 4L80 or whatever, or with a carby on it or something like that, like basic stuff, plug it in, and when you're going out driving you can just use the app, which I'll have to turn the key on.
This is a Hughes product too?
Well, it's HGM CompuShift, but it was supplied by Hughes,
okay,
of course, so it's obviously what they use. I don't know if you can see it or not. But
oh yeah, I can see that. It's cool.
so you got all that stuff, and then you can go back to there's vehicle setup, engine setup, shift speed, shift control, torque converter, diag, network. There's a whole. It's actually really good. I've only ever dealt with PCS with auto controllers, and they're great if you're an OEM electronics engineer, but if you're just a dude like me, it's almost impossible to get working properly. Whereas this is had software made well, which is a deal breaker if you're just a normal guy trying to use a control unit. If the software is not done with normal people in mind, it's very difficult to use. Same as engine computers. So
you'll open up a can of worms
thumbs
there.
up for me.
Be careful.
What?
There'll be comments flying around left, right and centre.
Cool. It's good for the algorithm.
Like and subscribe also while you're there. Thanks, guys.
Go Hawks! We got some fresh rear rotors from our mate George at Brakes Direct. We're still waiting on the front kit, which is also from them. As soon as we get it, we'll fit it up and show it off, because it's something that patrols need and has not been available as thus far. Having a Duramax patrol previously, I do know that they need brakes, especially when they've got that much power. So in the meantime, we just whacked them on so we could chug around and get that rear bar made. Can you put the wheels on?
You can do it.
No, I can't. I'm too old.
I ain't lifting that.
You're young. You're young and...
I'm young and broken. Oh, what's that?
I'm old and broken, so that takes precedent.
Let's have an arm wrestle. Whoever wins can put the brakes on.
I don't want to snap your pea arm.
What'd you do? Thought you were going to start it up.
I am. Getting you a beer. I mean a lemon squash.
Ah, lemon squash.
To celebrate.
Thanks, bro. So, do you know if it's going to do a skid or not?
No idea. There might be tears if it won't. Remember the TD42?
What, you spun one wheel?
No, it didn't spin any. It was like until we put that big pump on it, and then it blazed them. That doing anything?
One wheel was spinning.
No, I haven't wired up the diff locks yet.
Did you? Oh, the diff lock's not wired up yet.
No.
Oh, I thought you just did that then.
You did it.
No, I thought you wired it in the car before, just now. No?
Yeah, because it's that fast.
Oh, sorry. You were spinning one wheel. Go back a little bit. It's alternating between tyres, left and right.
I'm not 100% sure that this is what this vehicle's been built for. But
It sounds pretty boss.
camming it.
Is that just the idle speed or something?
I think the idle's too high, yeah. Don't people with 200 series do this on purpose? Never mind all that. Look. That's success.
Great success.
Yeah, so it's idling at like 1200 RPM. That's probably why it's a little bit angry. I can't get enough of that RPM reading, I tell you, after 2 days of trying to get it to work.
I was spinning 2 then. Did you just miraculously wire those lockers up?
No. I don't care about the lockers, I care about the taco working.
Oh, that mang.
Ah,
Was that the Hoff driving past then or what?
that V12 single turbo goodness.
Sucker!
How good does a Cummins sound compared to a V12?
Why is it lumpy like that? Is that the idle speed?
Because it's got big cams.
Big cams?
Yeah, it's got
12 of them?
It's got stage 3,
Oh, nice.
30/80.
Nice. What's the lobe separation on that?
It's a sloppy stage 3.
Oh, yeah. Yep. One of those ones.
It'd be what? It's same as Kai's cam, so 120.
Oh, it needs to be bigger, but...
I think success.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, look at you smiling.
That's all. If you're not happy with that, then you piss off. That's probably the next big milestone ticked off on a project. Start motor, make car move. And then there's heaps of stuff after that, but never mind that. We did a skid. Did my best.
It's not... You are alright, though. It's not the vehicle for that, though, is it?
It's not really a skid car, but we're getting there. I'm pretty stoked. Like, I am. I know it doesn't look like it, but I am. We got a bit to do still. Matt's going to come and help us build a rear bar for it. And then we got a whole bunch of accessory stuff to fit onto it. Racks and awnings and drawers and all that four-wheel drive stuff. So still a bit to do. I've still got wiring to do. I've got no lockers yet. Woody was supposed to wire the thing up, but
You were supposed to do the in-car.
his idea of wiring something is just run the wires and then not connect them.
Yeah,
into anything,
yeah.
so, which is still helpful, so thanks, Woody.
I did a good job.
I did a good job. Just reassure yourself. We got the pipe bender out. Matt's got some tube. We've had this pipe bender for ages and haven't had a chance to use it yet, so we'll screw that to the concrete and get Matt's expertise in and start banging away at this bar. I'll finish off some wiring stuff, do some other things and lots of other things.
Little bit more stuff.
Figure out how to put that bloody guard back on, and there's heaps to do. We probably should write a list. And then we might get to use it. Or at least make dugga noises on the boulevard.
Just go pick up some fish and chips, mate.
Actually, maybe that's what it's for.
Yeah.
That cam, though. Stage 3.
Got to get that KFC height check drive-through first, though.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work, eh? I don't eat KFC anymore.
2 inches and 33 is for the win.
Yeah.
No, you're only allowed to eat takeaway when you're going down the Bruce Highway. When you're going down Caboolture.
That's a new rule.
Yeah.
But the Bruce Highway is our local freeway for everyone that doesn't live anywhere near us.
You're only allowed Macca's, Hungry Jack's,
That's
and
the rule.
KFC.
You're only allowed to eat shit food if you're on the road.
If you're going past the BP.
Yeah. That's a fair rule.
It is good.
You can dig it.
You done?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm a bit delirious.
You always like this.
It's been a long road. Thanks for coming along with us. We'll do a bit more next week. Thanks for watching, and tell me how bad my burnout is in the comments section.
And hit the like button.
And hit the like button and subscribe and the bell.
You there? Thanks, guys.
Go Hawks!
We fly as one.
Do they?
Geese do.
I'll have to take their word for it.
I got attacked by a goose the other day, actually, at the golf club.
That would be the
There was also
a very, very woody thing to happen.
There was also a red-bellied black snake slithering across the car.
Sweet. They're all right.
Just Australia
They kill brown snakes, so
Oh, I don't know.
I used to have heaps of them here.
Geese.
No, red-bellied black snakes.
Oh.
Geese.
What one do you want? 8-ball?
All of them.
All
Put some in
three.
the back as well. And put some under your armpits.
Ooh, black ice. Smells like my new car.
That 8-ball one's new, isn't it?
Huh?
That's new, that 8-ball one, isn't it?
Yeah, have you not seen that one?
No.
Restocks. You want one off each hang bar or all
Yeah.
three here?
Can you clean the carpet with them? Can you clean the carpet with them, like rub it on the carpet?
I don't think that would work very well.
Have you tried it? I don't want my car to smell like your armpits.
Done.
Yeah, dog.
As if you don't want you staring at you the whole time.
I can just look in the mirror if I want to see that. It is hanging off a mirror.
Oh, you were ugly.
You see the irony right there? No, irony is probably not the right word, but we'll go with it. Hey, look at this. It's got cup holders in the door.
Yeah, Nissan luxury.
I heard that you don't even get cup holders in a Land Cruiser at all.
No, you got to add them in. You don't even get bloody electric windows in a cruiser, bro.
What about a clock?
Oh, that's extra. That's like $400 extra. My car's got a clock and a
It
compass.
actually is $400.
And a fuel economy gauge.
Genuine Toyota clock.
And air conditioning and dual air conditioning.
Dual aircon.
And active stability control and traction control.
Sounds girly.
And a broken diff. And a leaking sump. And a broken CV.
And it moves. And it clunks when you change gears.
What else is wrong with it?
Stuff.
And the brakes are buggered. And the intercooler's got a massive leak.
Is this the bargain that you got?
And the manifold's blocked. And it hasn't been serviced for 20,000 Ks. What else have I done so far? And every seal is leaking.
Aside from a bad purchase, what have
Every
you done?
external seal on the engine or gearbox is leaking.
Sweet.
Bar the rear main.
Just
Maybe
hose it
is.
off.
Huh?
Hose it off.
Nah.
Good.
Because then I park in your driveway and you go, oh, you're leaking oil.
Park on the grass. Park on the road. Park on the next door neighbour's driveway.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Sweet.
Oh, that's still recording. Maybe that can be the bloody title of the video. I bought a lemon.
You just gotta make lemonade.
Making lemonade from my lemon.
Enough shit talk.